I'm Dion, and this is my project, FastCV. Basically what it is, it allows you to place images into a database and query them based on associated information. So basically what you would do is put an image into a database, place information along with that image, and be able to query it out. The problem with this is right now they do image-to-image basis, and for most of the descriptors, they're very slow for mobile devices. So I wanted to make a way so you could place images from mobile devices and get information back to your mobile device for that image. So this probably is going to be a pretty short presentation, basically because my project is very non-UI based. It's for scalable databases, so really it takes a long time for the calculations, and I don't think you all want to sit here for the entire time that would take. So the things I've done this semester, right now I've finished the code to extract and detect features from images. Basically they're grayscale pieces in the image descriptor, cuts the images up into very small pieces that it can compare against other images. So once it does that, you create a vocabulary. Basically it creates a list where it shows the amount of frequency of one of these features that we've extracted from the image, and then it compares them doing one of two different methods. One of them would be using a randomized KD tree, which I'm going to try to explain in the next slide, or use K-mean, or hierarchical K-mean, which is the bag of features implementation, which they both have different benefits, and that's kind of the next step, is figuring out which one would be better, using the KD tree or the bag of feature implementation. One of the things I've also done during this semester is turn my Java CV code to C++ and PHP. One of the problems I had with Java CV was the lack of documentation. It's kind of like an open source project, but it didn't have a lot of documentation, so it was kind of hard to translate some of the things I wanted to do from OpenCV to Java CV. So I just rewrote a bunch of the code, mostly the vocabulary creation and the feature extraction from Java CV to OpenCV and C++ and PHP. Okay. The next step for me is to create a KD tree or bag of feature implementation. Basically, these are two data structures for storing images and databases so you can query them. One of the ways I was told that I could find a good way of figuring out which one would be better, whether it would be the KD tree or the bag of feature, was to run a kernel called Flan on a database that would be representable of my data set. The problem is I don't have a data set that I would understand to be representable of the type of data set this application would be used for. So that's kind of the next step, is finding a data set and then running with Flan and then trying to figure out which one of these implementations to use. Right now I've mostly been using bag of features, but I'm thinking of going to the KD tree implementation. The to-do for the next few weeks would be finish changing the OpenCV code to the Java CV code to OpenCV, so that code from one language to another, and then figuring out which data structure would be best for the features and the types of things I need. Yeah, that's my basic presentation. Any questions? Yes?
When you say that you can find features in images, like what constitutes a feature? Like a picture of like a letter or like a person? What sort of things can you do with this library?
Right now you can do basic image-to-image matching, but the problem is when you take an image and cut it up into pieces and you go and try to find another image out of a database of 1 million images, and you try to cut them all up to individual pieces and go matching, it takes a really, really long time.
I'm sure.
So now...
So this could, like, given the picture of like a person, could it like pick out people in a crowd, or
yeah,
like determine if this is just like a person or a tree? Or?
Yeah, this is the exact same technology they use for, you know, facial recognition and object detection. This is just a form of it called instant detection. Basically, you just take an image, and right now the database or the structure I use lets you put information, like you'll be able to place a Coca-Cola symbol and then give it a name, Coca-Cola, describe it, and then when somebody scans it on their cell phone, it sends the image to the database in the back end. It will give you back the name of the symbol and the description. And you really pretty much put any information tied to any image you want to.
Can it do any sort of learning? Like if it sees enough digits, it could like read signs, or is it just basic, just like comparisons?
That would be like a different form of object recognition. That's like category recognition, which is like a different form from this. A lot of people have done that though. I know one project did that. They read credit card numbers using a cell phone. Yeah. Any more questions?
So what kind of image data that you are looking at?
The way it does it is the image turns into a grayscale image, basically gray, black and white, and then it takes the difference of Gaussian. How would well, I learned all this before, and it's kind of hard for me.
So the reason I'm also asking is now from the Mars, it seems that there are lots of images that are available, public data that is available. So whether your system can be able to analyze some of those images, that's the question.
Yeah, if you wanted to run this program and run, you know, a Google search and run all the images and place all the images names from the Google search tied to that image, you can do that pretty easily with this. So, any more questions? Thank you.